Alright, this is just a quick tip video for doing exercise 8, because exercise 8, as you read the instructions, you'll see that what you're going to do is find a few different images, 4 different images, or 3 different images, excuse me, and find crops within an image to find various balances. So let's look at this image. First thing we can see is this image obviously has approximate symmetry built in, but we want to make squares. So again, I showed in the video, whoops, let's grab right there, 1-to-1 square. I'm going to turn this off because I don't need this. Right? And so like right there, there's an approximate symmetry. So I'll just go ahead and double click on it. And now what I'm asking for you to do is actually put in an axis line. So I'm going to go to my brush tool, and I'm going to take a color that'll show over the image colors. I'll make it, yellow is not going to work. I'm going to make it like a crazy purple, because that might work. Make my thing a little smaller and a hard brush. Now this is the cool thing. If you want to draw a straight line, you can simply hold the shift key and draw right down. So you see I'm in the wrong mode of my brush. Make sure I'm in normal mode, right? And draw straight down. And now I can see my axis. Now if I want to draw, if I'm wind up with a radial one, so let's find a radial crop really quickly. So let's go back in my history to the original image. And so I'm going to find let's find an asymmetrical crop real quick. So I'll just quickly say, right, this I would say is an asymmetrical crop, right? We've got this over here, we've got this counterbalancing here. And so I need to draw, for those ones, I want to draw the world axes line. So I'll find pretty much the middle, hold shift, once again, hold, whoops, you saw that crazy thing that happened. The thing is, you don't have to hold shift, and this is what I was going to get to for radial, is that holding shift constrains you to either 45-degree angles or straight up and down or left horizon lines. You could do is just click somewhere, go to the next spot, hold the shift button, and click again, and it'll draw that line in. So you're going to do that for radial. Obviously this is asymmetrical, so you can just do this just to show the way the space is distributed. So just since I'm going here, I might as well show all 4 types of balance that you need. The next thing is we need crystallographic, or we need radial. And radial's simple because this one has lots of flowers in it, so I'm going to find something with a good enough radial. I'm looking for radial. This is, I'm actually going to say never show the overlay because it's just screwing me up. So I would say that, yeah, there's this thing coming right here that I don't love. But for the most part, I feel a radial balance there, right? So with my things, I'm going to go over. Whoops, I hate when it draws that. Over, right? And you see here we've got, I basically have all this, right? I really don't need to draw to the ends. So I could see, now I would want to make my brush smaller so that I could see the image behind it, obviously. But, right, that's radial. And let's go back one last time. And the last crop I'm looking for is crystallographic. Now, you may not find an image that has all 4, or they could be, good at best. But I would say something like this is fairly crystallographic, right? It's really crystallographic is about having a pattern that doesn't have like a lot of places that steal my eye but let me feel balance. And so for crystallographic, you don't have to mark them in any way. So this is doing exercise 8, right? You try to find as many of those types of balance you can, and depending on what type it is how you mark it. You're going to export each one of these. I should have been saving these as I went along, exporting them as just a JPEG, right? So once you get a crop you like, you can go to File, Save As, make it a JPEG, say this one is crystallographic, right? I think it's crystallographic, right? Save that, say sure, go back, do it again, save it as, oops, don't hit save, just hit save as, obviously, because then you'd override your thing. Yeah, so that's exercise 8. That's everything you need to know to do exercise 8. It's a very manageable. Once you get the images, I want you just to make a slide deck, put the image, the original image in it, and then put in the 4 things. I can go over. You could do it in one more slide. You can do it in a few slides. You can do it in more slides. You can do it in Word. I don't really care. Just as long as you have it, and then you label which type of balance it is, right? So I would label this one, you know, well, that one's really terrible, but, you know, I'd say here, I would label this one approximate symmetry, right? And that's it. And obviously I would have drawn the line across. So exercise 8, it's pretty simple, very doable, shouldn't take you more than 40 minutes, right? If you really understand the balances. Obviously reach out to me if you have any issues, if you want to show me one and be like, is this right? But obviously don't send me the whole thing and be like, are all these right? Because that's what grading's for. And obviously you'll have a chance to mulligan and fix any ones that you got wrong. So really there's no worry here. So, all right, well, that's exercise 8.